Hey there, I am back with another deck review, and today we're going to be looking at Ink Beast from Curio Playing Cards. Now, Curio is the creation of Jamie. He's an avid collector out of the Pacific Northwest, and like so many other collectors out there, he had the dream of producing his own decks of cards, and it turns out he's got quite a talent for it. Now, he started that off with his first deck, Anatomica, that launched last year. If you haven't seen that one, definitely recommend checking it out. I own it and absolutely love the deck. But he followed that up with his sophomore effort, Ink Beast. It's a series of decks that's inspired by the world of tattoo art. And in fact, he collaborated with a Korean tattoo artist who goes by the name Won Young. You can see some of his work on Instagram, really talented guy. But Jamie wanted to see how he could combine the tattoo work of Won Young and bring it to life on a deck of playing cards. And so the result is what you see here. Now, there's two different main versions of the deck that came with the campaign. You have the gold edition over here on the left, and then this holographic one is called the collector's edition. So two different versions. Obviously from the tuck cases, you can see they're quite different. We'll get a chance to look at both of them, but let's start off by looking at the gold edition of the deck. All right, so it comes on a regular glossy finish tuck case, and it's enhanced with little bits of embossing, like you can see on the name of the deck down here, as well as little delicate hits of gold foil throughout. You may be able to see some of those shining. At the bottom, Ink Beast is written kind of a brushstroke font. You get the gray sort of wisps of smoke in the background, and then a beautiful first look at some of Won Young's phenomenal tattoo artwork here. Now, the beast in the name is a reference to the fact that all the tattoo work is inspired by the animal kingdom, and you can see sort of a collage of animals there in the center. The lion in the middle, the shark, elephant, bear up there in the corner, and then in the final corner you have an anglerfish. Beautiful artwork. I love the organic flowing feel. Everything looks almost like flames or wisps of smoke that are coming off, and just forms this outstanding design pattern. Just gives it that organic and really aggressive feel overall. And then the gold foil is used really effectively to create shining eyes along with the streaks of light coming off of them. As it turned into light there, you can see those really fine gold lines on there. Finishes out with a thin gold border around the edge, and then you can see the black tuck at the edges there. Beautiful look to it, great look at the artwork, and you get a better look at it as you look at the sides of the deck. Both sides feature a trio of some of the animals that we're going to see featured in the deck. Same on both sides, again with those great glowing gold eyes. Bottom has your ad copy, mentions Legends Playing Card Company who printed the deck, and then of course illustrations by Won Young. And then the back has a little preview of the back design of the cards, enhanced with a little bit of gold foil there, but we'll look more at that in a second. And then kind of a shadowy tuck seal here that features an image of the lion, a little bit hard to make out there, but it's gold on the black background, and then gold edition at the bottom. And then the top of the deck here features a design that kind of continues on the inner flap here. It's kind of a look of the eyes of the lion there, those glowing gold eyes that are streaking up. You also get some fantastic, really super shiny gold foiling on the interior of the tuck case, and features some of that smoke design in black there. So really cool, nice luxury feel to it. I love how the tuck case kind of captures a little bit of like a more vintage casino deck style, but with a little bit more of that modern art style with the tattoo work. So kind of a cool mix on the tuck case. All right, but now let's get into the cards, and we'll start, like we usually do, with the back design. And here it is. So again, kind of has that casino deck style with that repeated pattern. Each one of those little design elements there is a close look at one of those lion heads. And you can see, just like everything else, the eyes are kind of accented with little bits of gold metallic ink as well. It's a really cool pattern, and that repeated pattern just creates a great look, kind of a classic look to the back of the cards. Really like how there's a bit of a gradient in the color too. You'll see the background is kind of more pure white in the center, and then fades to a darker gray here at the corners. Kind of gives the card a little bit of kind of a depth effect to it, while it's still kind of an overall flat design. So it kind of gives it a little bit of extra life. And then finishes out with that super thin gold border and the micro thin white poker border around the edge. All right, so that is the back design. And then you get a pair of jokers, so only 2 extra cards in this one. You have a black joker and then a gold joker with the metallic inks there. and features a couple of different animals from the animal kingdom. You have the lion, already seen that a few times, and then the stag on the gold joker. Again, just a great look to it overall, just those different tendrils climbing up. Not a symmetrical design, but just has this sort of life of its own. And then of course, those glowing gold metallic eyes as well. Really like the little border that's added on the side. And then the Joker font just has that like stamped on look to it. So there is the pair of Jokers that you get. The aces, all same art style continued throughout. Has the large spade pip there. And then each one of the ace pips features some symbol that's sort of reminiscent of the animal kingdom in some way. So the spade pip has almost like a skeleton of an insect of some sort. You can see the wings there forming the outer parts of the spade pip. Ink Beast 2022 at the bottom, and then a Curio project. I like the font and index that's used on the pip and index in the corner. So that pip just has little wisps coming off of it, and then that stamped on look to the index. And then those same borders in the corner. Ace of Diamonds features a really aggressive looking diamond pip here with a menacing snake's face there, the fangs bared. And then pip and index now into your classic red, done in gold. Of course, it's the gold edition of the deck. And then the club, this one's a little bit hard to see, but if I turn it this way, you'll see the top and the bottom are formed by a fish skeleton. So you have one fish on that side, and then a second one mirrored on the other side with its fin forming the outer bulbs of the club pip there. And then finally the heart. Not sure what this one's meant to be. Almost looks like a pelvic bone or a couple of bird skulls there or something like that maybe, with the beaks forming in the middle. Not really sure exactly what that's meant to be, but kind of a cool look to that one. All right, so there's your 4 aces. The number cards throughout all maintain a relatively standard look, at least relative to the rest of the deck. You do get those custom pips with little wisps coming off of them. As far as I can tell, the pips are the same from one pip to the next, so you don't get a lot of variation in the pips. But you get that little border, custom pip and index in the corner, and pretty small, pretty standard layout. A little bit smaller pips than maybe you're used to, but nice, familiar, easy to use if you wanted to use this for gameplay. Just like before, the classic red is replaced with gold metallic on the diamonds and the hearts. And then into the clubs. And then from the black back to the gold for the hearts. So there's your number cards. And then we get to the courts. And this is really where One Young really let his artistic talent shine in forming these fantastic two-way court cards. They all feature animals from the animal kingdom. And for the spades, you can see we start with Bug Life. All done in an almost monochromatic look to it overall, just mostly blacks and grays that are used. And you get a centipede, a spider, and then a scorpion on the King of Spades. Great looks to them overall, lots of jagged edges, giving it that really aggressive look. And just like so many other parts that we've seen, we'll zoom in here so you can really see it. You can see the super thin gold lines that form the eyes, and then those sparks that are coming out of their eyes as well. You'll see the same thing there on the spider for the Queen of Diamonds, or Queen of Spades, and then the eyes of the scorpion glowing as well on the King of Spades. So very cool. I love that really intricate gold metallic work there. The diamonds now feature some of the creatures of the land. So you have the bear on the Jack of Diamonds. The Queen of Diamonds features a snake reared up and curled around there. And then the King of Diamonds has a profile look of a very aggressive looking elephant. And then we go to the ocean depths for the clubs. So we have an octopus. Really cool look to that one. Octopi always look great on a deck of cards. Queen of Clubs has my favorite court card, the anglerfish there from the deep, deep sea. And then a menacing shark on the King of Clubs. And then finally, we go to bird life for the hearts. And so we have a raven on the Jack of Hearts, an owl in the center on the Queen of Hearts, and then an eagle on the King of Hearts. Again, great look, all of them with their wings spread. Would have liked for maybe some, I don't know, variety in the poses of these, but still a really cool look to these overall. And that is the courts. And that is the deck, or at least the gold version of the deck. The deck itself is done by Legends Playing Card Company on their Viper finish. Have not seen too many decks that are done with this finish, but it's a really impressive feeling finish. Very smooth handling to it overall. Nice soft feel. I wouldn't say this feels quite as soft as like a Cardamundi deck. Still has a little bit stiffer feel to it, but as close to a Cardamundi deck as I felt, and that's really saying something. So great feeling, great handling deck of cards overall. But that's just one version of the deck. With the gold edition, we also have the more limited collector's edition. And if the tuck case is any indication, this is going to feature tons of fantastic holo foil. The design on this one, a much bolder look to it overall. Very few words on this one, just features the profile of part of the lion's face there, all done in full holographic against that black glossy cardstock. And then as you turn it around, that same image continues on 3 sides of the deck to form that design wrapping all the way around. Very cool look to it, those glowing holographic eyes bolting up to the top. On the other side, just mentions this is the collector's edition of the deck. Gets an ad copy, of course, on another holographic sticker applied here at the bottom, and this one's number 1230. And then the top mentions this is the Ink Beast deck. That lion pattern sort of continues a little bit on the inner flaps, so you can see just sort of continues the design there. And then the interior of the tuck case has some super, super bright holographic foiling with that diamond pip pattern running all the way down. So very bright look to it overall. I think my only knock on this is I wish it had been a matte stock that was used for this. I think that would have really helped highlight that the holographic foil even more. And just in general, the matte stock always just feels a little bit nicer. So one small knock on this one, same knock that I have for the gold edition. Just wish it hadn't been on that glossy stock, but really cool tuck case overall. And the cards are also super impressive. Back design now features a full holofoil back design, and it's completely borderless. So you get that same repeating pattern with the lion's faces there. This time a little bit larger lion faces and borderless, and of course filled in with that rainbow foil throughout. Great look to it. Looks, of course, phenomenal in fans as well. Just a really bold design on the back. Like what's going on here. You know, holofoil has been used so much in decks of cards, it's almost becoming cliche. But for some reason in this deck, I think it just really serves the purpose well. So do not mind it, even though I've seen a lot of holofoil decks at this point. I think it really works well in this deck. But the holofoil does not stop there. So as we get to the deck itself, we'll see a lot of the color scheme has changed up as well. So the same characters that we see on the Jokers here, for example, we have the lion and the stag, but now the gold text up here has been replaced with more holofoil. So we have holofoil on both sides of the deck. Those corner borders have holofoil, and now you get kind of an aggressive background with some gold metallic ink. I'll say for me personally, I don't think the gold metallic ink was terribly necessary. Could have done without it, and I think it's a little bit of an odd color match with that holofoil, so I don't think the gold and holofoil go together quite as well, but still a really beautiful look to the deck overall. And of course now those gold glowing eyes have been replaced with holographic eyes. Number cards, same basic designs, but lots of that gold now replaced with the holographic foil. So now your red cards are holographic instead of gold. And then the black cards even get little hits of the holofoil as well. Number cards have also been changed up. So in addition to the regular spade pips, you get kind of a backdrop of the gold large spade pips in the back. And it's the same too. So kind of forming a little bit of a watermark, but a little bit darker in the back. So you get a mixture of the holographic foil, the gold metallic ink, and then the classic black. Really bold mix to it overall. You know, once again on this one, I don't think the gold matches quite as well. Looks a little bit gratuitous on this. I don't know if I would have maybe liked it to be a little bit of a gray, so it's more of a watermark, or even some more holofoil would have been cool, but still a really nice look to these overall. So you get to the red cards. So now instead of the gold pips, we have full holographic pips. So very, very bright on the red cards. And then back to classic black for the clubs, and more super shiny holofoil on the hearts. So love the looks of these overall. And then the court cards, again, feature some minor changes to match with this version of the deck. You get that holographic border, the gold pips in the background, and of course their eyes now are glowing with really super intricate lines of the holographic foil there as well. But same animals that are used throughout here. So you get the land animals as the diamonds, the sea animals as the clubs, and then finally the birds of the sky in the hearts. And that's it. And this deck, probably saw the fan before, but this deck handles equally well, just tremendous handling deck. So really becoming a big fan of that Viper finish from Legends. Even with the full holographic foil applied, still maintains a nice thin feel to the cards and just handles really, really well. I always say that Cardamundi does the best cold foiling, but I gotta say Legends is right up there as well. And that is it. That is the look at the 2 decks of the Ink Beast series. There's a couple of other more limited decks out there. There's one super limited black or dark edition of the deck. There's also a mini deck. But if you want to get the main decks of the campaign, the gold edition and the collector's edition are the ones you're going to want to look out for. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this look at Ink Beast. Definitely go check it out if you didn't already back the campaign. But for now, hope you enjoyed this look. Make sure to subscribe for more deck reviews, more unboxings. Let me know what else you want to see, and I'll see you for the next one.